Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, picture this, a secret, a 70-year-old secret so big and so well protected that the only way to crack it is through a massive law enforcement operation, one that offers total immunity to the insiders. Well, that's exactly the claim we're diving into today.
Okay, so let's really dig into this quote. Progressing rapidly with a law enforcement effort, that's not just some vague hint, right? This is a pretty bold statement. What we're being told here is that this isn't just some passive investigation. No, this is an active push to take down the very organizations that have allegedly been keeping the UAP topic under wraps for decades.
So what kind of operation are we talking about here? Who's the target? Well, if you're thinking of just some government agency that's a little too secretive, you need to think way, way bigger. The source material points to a transnational criminal organization.
Yeah, you heard that right. The image we're given is kind of like a giant octopus with tentacles stretching all over the world. This isn't just one rogue department going off the rails. We're talking about a massive, sprawling criminal enterprise, one that has supposedly been operating completely above the law with zero constitutional oversight for, get this, over 70 years.
And the list of alleged crimes, it's absolutely staggering. We're talking about ongoing conspiracy, embezzlement of trillions of dollars, human trafficking, even murder. And all of it, every single bit, is allegedly in service of protecting one thing, the secret behind UAPs.
Okay, so this is where the legal strategy gets really interesting. You might be thinking, wait, didn't this all happen back in the 50s? Isn't there a statute of limitations? Well, here's the argument. The whole operation was supposedly taken off the books back then, which made it illegal right from the get-go. And because it never stopped, it's considered an ongoing criminal enterprise. And the crucial part? There's no statute of limitations for a crime that's still happening.
So, how in the world do you take on a secret group this powerful and this entrenched? Well, you don't attack it from the outside. The strategy here is to get it to crumble from within. You turn the insiders into whistleblowers. And to do that, you've got to give them a really, really good reason to talk.
And this really lays out the stark choice that insiders are supposedly facing right now. For decades, the smart move was to keep your mouth shut. Silence meant safety. But the message now is that the tables have completely turned. Suddenly, staying quiet is the dangerous option. Coming forward, that's where you find protection, immunity, a totally clean slate. But, and this is a huge but, this immunity deal isn't a free-for-all. It's not a blank check. There is one massive condition. You have to tell them everything. Total, complete, honest disclosure. If you hold back even one tiny detail, the entire agreement is terminated. The deal is off the table.
Okay, so this probably brings a big question to your mind. What about all those ironclad non-disclosure agreements? The NDAs. These are the legal chains that have kept people silent for decades.
Right? How can anyone possibly come forward when they've signed papers that legally bind them to secrecy for life, especially when they're threatened with losing their pensions, their reputation, or even facing jail time?
Well, the counter-argument is actually pretty brilliant in its simplicity, and this quote nails it. Think about it like this. Imagine you're in the mafia, and you've signed some kind of secrecy oath. Is that legally enforceable? Of course not, because the whole business is illegal to begin with.
And that's the core argument right there. You can't use the law to enforce secrecy for an illegal program. So, according to this view, any NDA tied to these unconstitutional projects is basically worthless paper. It's null and void. It has zero legal power.
Okay, so we've got the legal strategy down. But let's be real. Knowing your NDA is void is one thing. Actually having the courage to stand up to an organization this powerful, that's another thing entirely. And this is where the whole story takes a really fascinating pivot, away from the courtroom and into a much deeper idea: consciousness.
Now, it's really important we're clear on what's meant by consciousness here. This isn't about being conscious of politics or social issues. Nope. We're talking about something far more fundamental. It's defined as the faculty of being awake, that basic underlying state of awareness that we all have.
And this universal state of being, this is presented as the wellspring of true courage. The idea is that if a whistleblower can tap into this deeper part of themselves, they can find the clarity and the strength to take what they call right action, to do the right thing no matter how immense the personal risk. It's about moving past fear.
So, how does this more spiritual idea connect back to the nuts and bolts legal strategy we were talking about? This is where the idea of forgiveness comes in. And it's not just a moral thing. It's presented as a deeply practical, strategic move. The offer of full immunity is being framed as something called policy forgiveness. So it's not just a clever legal tool to get people to talk, it's a consciously designed exit ramp for people who've been stuck inside this secret world, maybe for their whole lives, and see no way out.
And the thinking behind this is really smart, for a couple reasons. First, it gives an out to people who might have thought they were doing the right thing, serving their country, but were actually part of an illegal system. But second, and this is a big one, it's about avoiding a fight. I mean, you probably don't want to get into a direct conflict with a group that's been hoarding advanced secret technology for decades, right? This is all about de-escalation.
And this quote really sums up the whole philosophy perfectly. An eye for an eye will leave the whole world blind. The idea is that just going after everyone with pure retribution could be an absolute disaster. Instead, this path of forgiveness, of immunity, is being presented as the only sane, strategic way forward.
Which brings us to our final question, the one that kind of ties this whole thing together. What if the key to unlocking this massive global conspiracy isn't just about finding the evidence? What if it's about something bigger, a fundamental shift in consciousness, the kind of shift that gives people the courage to finally speak up, and us the wisdom to listen?